Don't mind you looking at. I don't mind who looking at me. Don't get mad if she ain't looking back at you, nigga. Don't get mad if she ain't.
Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. It's a very cloudy day, and we all thought it was going to be a hurricane this morning because the weather was just terrible. But wonderful weather we are having today. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on post notifications so that y'all don't miss anything, because next week is my gender reveal. And if you're not new to my channel, welcome back. And yeah, as y'all can tell by the title, I will be doing a story time on how I ended up in the hospital at 18 weeks pregnant for something so simple yet so dumb of me. It didn't hit me that I was pregnant. I didn't feel my first kick until 19 weeks. No, I take it back. I was not 18 weeks when I was in the hospital. I was 16 or 17 weeks pregnant. I felt my first kick at 19 weeks. Before 19 weeks, I did not feel pregnant. So I was still blowing money, acting a fool, as in putting stress on my body by screaming and hollering and being emotional, not getting enough sleep, as in ripping and running and not taking naps, and not drinking enough water. I was still living as if there was nothing inside of me, and it took for me to go to the hospital to take this stuff seriously. I was at a family gathering, and there were pickles with ranch. If you watch my previous videos, you know I like pickles. So I basically had a lot of pickles, a lot of ranch, and y'all know I like wings. My aunt brought out wings. So I had pickles and ranch, wings and ranch, and then there goes the seafood gumbo. So with all that being said, I had all of that at one time, and I had a Sprite. So the problem with that is all that don't mix. So, you know, pickles and gumbo and everything, all that mixed together is like your stomach is bound to be toe up. So like, and then before that, I barely drank water anyway, and I barely ate anything because I was doing something, but I didn't have time to eat. I didn't have my water bottle with me. So yeah, y'all already know how that went. Barely had water, and then you had a lot of stuff that don't even go together, and then you drank Sprite. So let me fast forward to the next morning. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and like I said, my stomach was toe up. So look at her little thought coming to my car. My bad, y'all. My friend, she had came and spoke to me and threw me off. But let me rephrase that. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and my stomach was not settled. And after that, took care of my business or whatever, my stomach felt empty. So I'm like, okay, I need to eat something, because if nothing in my stomach, then that's gonna be a problem for the baby. So I tried to I ate some crackers because it was dry, and I knew my stomach wasn't settled for me to eat anything, like, you know, anything. So after I had the crackers, I was like, okay, I'm still hungry. So I ate a few orange slices. I didn't eat a whole orange. I had a few slices of the orange. And 5 minutes later, I ended up, you know, it didn't sit well with me. It didn't like settle. So I threw it up. And in my mind, I'm like, I never had morning sickness. So is this what this is? So after that happened, I went and made me some lemon water. Because usually when I have an upset stomach or something, I would drink lemon water and then my stomach would be settled. So I made me some lemon water. And then after that, I drank some water because I was like, maybe I need some water too. Drank some water. I threw up the water and the lemon water. So, look how crazy. So I drank the water and the lemon water. I threw up the water and the lemon water. So the problem with that was, I'm like, okay, I'm not holding down food or water, so that's a problem. So I called Women's Hospital, and I talked to one of the nurses, and she told me it's probably a stomach bug. Try to eat some chicken noodle soup, and if you can't keep that down, no, she said try again, and at 1 o'clock, if I'm still feeling how I'm feeling, then go into the assessment center. So my mama, she went to the store and she got me a can of chicken noodle soup, and she told me since I'm not keeping anything solid down, try to drink just the chicken broth of it. So, but I was hungry. I had nothing in my stomach, so I ate a few of the noodles too. I ate as much as I could. And after that, I went to sleep. It was like 11 o'clock because I was so tired. I've been up since 5 with an upset stomach. So I went to sleep, and then I woke up. It was like 12 something. And it was still sitting down. So I thought I was getting better. I drank me some water to stay hydrated. And after I drank me some water, around 2 o'clock, I threw up everything. So after I threw up, I just gave up. I stopped trying to eat. And I drank some more water. And then I was throwing up water. So I called the doctor again. And she told me to come in. So me and my mama and my daddy, we went to the hospital. And we thought, oh, we're going to go to the hospital. They're going to give me a prescription. I'm going to go home. Nope. I went to the hospital. It was cold and it was raining. We sat in the lobby for like 30 minutes. And then they called me to the back. And she checked my blood pressure. And then she checked my temperature. And she told me I wasn't running a fever. And that it's probably just a stomach bug. But she said she was going to make me do a urine test to see if I was dehydrated. If I was dehydrated, well, I would have to stay in the hospital. So I did the urine test, and the urine test came back positive. I was dehydrated, so I had to stay in the hospital. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to drink maybe a gallon or two of water. Nope, that is not how that went. I went to the desk, and I gave her my information, and they brought me to this room. They told me to take my clothes off, and that they was going to hook me up to some IVs, and they was gonna put fluid. They was gonna add the look at this girl. Look, I locked out. Okay, so they made me take off my clothes and get in the hospital bed. And then they hooked this needle up to my arm, and she took like 2 tubes worth of blood just in case they had to run tests on me. But at the end of everything, she told me that they didn't need any tests, so she basically drew blood for no reason. After she drew the blood, she hooked up the IV bags and this thing called Pepsodide or Pepsicide, however you pronounce it. She hooked that up to me, and she said that it was to help me get energy and everything, because after throwing up the food and water, I lost a lot of electrolytes, and I was very dehydrated. So after she hooked the bags up to me and everything, I went to sleep. I was so tired. And the problem with the IVs was they kept on, the little tubes kept on getting oxygen in them. So they had to keep like stopping. And sometimes the machine would just cut off and stop pushing the fluid into my veins. And then it was cold too. So my veins was extra small. And she was having problems with finding my big vein, because I have big veins on my right arm. Like, it's easier to find them on my right than my left, but because it was cold, it was still hard to put the needle inside of it. So, long story short, that's what happened, and that's why I was in the hospital for not drinking water. So, with that being said, if you're pregnant or if you're newly pregnant, it doesn't matter if you feel pregnant or not. Make sure you're drinking water, because my doctor told me I was supposed to be drinking up to 6 to 8 bottles a day. I had problems with drinking 1 bottle a day, but now I got this bottle, and it's a 26-ounce bottle. And if y'all watched my 20 weeks pregnant video, I showed it in the video. So it's a pretty big bottle, and it has the measurements on it so you can know how much water you're drinking a day. And I try to drink at least 3 or 4 of those so that I can stay hydrated. So it wasn't really a lot to tell, but I just basically wanted to let y'all know, like, that's what happens when you don't drink water while pregnant. You end up in the hospital hooked up to some IV bags. And then if your doctor don't know how to put the needle in the proper way, you're going to have, like, problems. Like, my arm was sore for a couple of days, but the scar stayed there for, like, 2 weeks. Because it was a big needle, and she was trying to get the needle inside my vein, so she was twisting it too. And it just felt so uncomfortable. So, to prevent going through what I went through, just make sure you're drinking a lot of water, and make sure you're eating healthier too, so that you don't mess your stomach up. But I have to go back to work, and that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching my video. Let's get this video to like 20 something likes and 80 something views, because that's something that we can do. And turn on post notifications so that y'all don't miss anything. Check the description box below. And stay tuned for my next video. And that's it. I'm gonna see y'all later.